I wouldn't consider myself to be very cultured for a start. I'm aware in the vaguest sense of what's available to me. Whether I choose to take that or not, I think, is another issue. But I know what's available, or what I'm interested in, and what's available.
I've been surprised about the breadth of cultural activities in Telford and Wrekin. I've been more involved in sport through my life, and in the first few months of working with Telford and Wrekin, I've been really impressed with the appreciation, understanding. I was at the Telford Culture Fest working as a steward at the end of August, and seeing the diversity and talent that is there, and the opportunities to demonstrate that really encouraged me.
I try and go to theatre or museums, galleries. I do go to community events in terms of local community events, sort of in the local village hall, things like that, but big events or anything like that.
I think you have to know where to look. But once you know where to look, then there's a lot going on, I think, anyway. And as a sort of a new dad, then you're starting to look a bit more and more. As my son starts to grow up, then I'm starting to look at what he wants to do and what we want to do as a family, and whether that's going to things at the place or using a sports facility or just using town parks or theatre or seeing things, then it'll become more and more.
I don't know really. I guess it's things. It's just I don't really know what's on as well, which I think is part of the problem. But it's just things that you could take your child or daughter to, so functions that were on during the day rather than in the evening, and facilities for, like for example the Odeon do like a children's cinema session, so you can go and see a film but you can take your children with you, and they have the lights on so it's not dark for them, so those kinds of things are really good.
I tend to, rather than perhaps go to the local council where I live, I would tend to go directly to the entertainment venues for the kind of stuff like comedy, live gigs and so forth that I would look at. I don't go anywhere near as much as I should probably, even though I'm pleasantly surprised by what is on offer locally. But it's really just a case of looking at the venues directly using the internet. That's a fairly painless process.
I don't do it very often actually, but the occasions I've been to the theatre, I mean they haven't actually been in Telford, but I've been to the theatre once or twice in the past year and did really enjoy when I went along. I think it's just a case of kind of motivating myself, as I said before, motivating myself to actually go along.
I'd like to see more live music festivals, similar to the Culture Fest, but more live music. Performing arts, sort of dance or theatre on the steps, theatre on the street, things like that.
I think probably yes, I'd like to see more going on, but I'm also aware that there's the local theatre, there's the cinema. We don't have an art gallery, obviously, but I think probably in time, I think more things will happen.
Yes, you seem to just back off from going out, don't you? Me and my wife used to do a lot of things, going to London, then going to the theatre around here, going to cinemas, going to see shows and concerts and stuff. I think for example, we went to Attingham Park recently, which was quite nice. There was a food fair, and we took the little boy along, and things like that are quite good. Took me wellies. I looked like a farmer. It was good. Yes.
Wellies that's British culture.
British culture, wellies. Yes.
British football culture.
I mean, I think probably previously I would have thought of dance in a very traditional way, more ballet, and but some of the stuff I was seeing was very innovative and very fresh, and basically it sort of blew my mind really. I didn't know that that's what dance was about, so I think that would be my overriding memory of it and what I would take away from it, yeah.
I think I'd go for the fairly cliched kind of art gallery, fairly intellectual examples of culture, rather than the kind of stuff that I'd be interested in, which would be the more to say ground level kind of comedy shows, local gigs and stuff like that. But I guess no end of it is any less cultural than the other end. It's just my perception of it.
I'm involved in lots of other things, and particularly lots of sport, so I don't always have a lot of time at the moment to go and sort of seek out more artistic things.
I think it does affect my life. I think if I had more time, then I probably would participate in more. I used to do a lot, go to the cinema a lot, and I used to do dance classes and things a lot, but because my circumstances have changed, I probably don't use them as much as I'd like to.
I remember thinking, yeah, well, I enjoy this, why don't I go and see art more often?
I think it's a good target. How you get people to go, I guess, is a different thing. But I think if people have got more things to go to and be involved in, then I think it gives people something to do rather than just hanging around or not having anything to do.
I think people, if you push stuff on them that they're not aware or they're not comfortable with, they're not going to do it. So I think again, you've got to be clever how you perceive it, and certain pockets of people won't do anything. That, you know, they're from a local culture that's just going to sit around or go to the pub or do what they've always done.
I would say the majority of people do, but I wouldn't say they exceed it by a great deal. I think there's a fairly even spread, probably 60, 70, 80% of people I know would access that level of cultural activities, but not greatly beyond that.
Yeah, if it's 3 and 12 months, probably the majority of the people I know.
How many people I know?
As a percentage, so
15, 20%.
I have a view that there's a lot of cultural events out there, but I think that they're not marketed enough.
Perhaps the publicity and the marketing of it needs to be better, you know, what goes on. And having working in the community portfolio which Arts is within, I think we do quite well at advertising it within our own council services, on our own websites and things.
I think there's a lot of events going out, especially community events, but you don't necessarily get to know about them.